If I could just ask you to mute yourself if you're not speaking, that makes the sound better. Just got 1 minute to go, then we'll start the meeting. I don't know if Kieran is joining us. Alec, do you know if Kieran is joining? We'll just wait a minute. The objector as well. So shall we just give it a couple of minutes then? That is strange. Alec, can you hear us? Oh? Well, not being very lucky with technology today. Hello, Kieran. Oh, we got Alec back. We got Kieran. So it's just the objector that has not joined yet. I suggest we wait another minute. Mm-hmm. Let me just double check. I did send it to him, and his father confirmed that he had it. Let me see. If I open my own calendar, Rachel, it doesn't show up either, but this was sent from the Democratic Services calendar. Let me see. Oh, you do? Okay. That's all right. Can I just make sure everybody can hear and it's all clear? My name is Luciane Pauker. I'm the clerk this afternoon for this hearing. So I'm just going to start by welcoming everybody to the meeting. And can I ask the panel to elect a chairman for this meeting, please? Can I have some nominations? Okay. So Rachel, you've been elected chairman. Over to you.
new premises licence under Section 17 of the Licensing Act 2003 at NISA Local 86 to 88 Headley Road, Woodley. The purpose of this report is to provide relevant information for the subcommittee to consider and determine the application from GNDJ Commercials Limited for a new premises licence at NISA Local 86 to 88 Headley Road, Woodley. The recommendations and the following options are open to the Licensing and Appeals Subcommittee: to grant the application in full and on the terms and conditions contained within the application to include any applicable mandatory conditions, to grant the application as above, modified to such an extent as considered appropriate to satisfy any relevant representations and promote the licensing objectives, or to reject the application. A premises licence is required in respect of any premises where it is intended to conduct one or more of the 4 licensable activities, these being sale of alcohol, supply of alcohol in respect of a club, regulated entertainment, or the provision of late night refreshment. The application was submitted by GNDJ Commercials Limited in respect of NISA Local 86 to 88 Headley Road, Woodley. For off sales of alcohol at the premises. In response to representation received, the application has amended their proposed trading hours to the following: supply of alcohol for off sales only from 06 to 2300 hours Monday to Sunday, with opening hours of 0600 to 2300 hours Monday to Sunday. The application has been properly made and all procedures correctly followed. The application has been attached as Appendix A to the report. Photographs of the blue site notices in place and a copy of the newspaper advert are attached in Appendix B. The applicant has described the proposed site to be run under the banner of NISA Local, which is now part of the Co-op Group. Alcohol sales are for consumption off the premises. The operating schedule is completed by the applicant and contains additional measures to illustrate how they propose to promote the 4 licensing objectives as required by provision of the Licensing Act 2003. Following a representation by Thames Valley Police, you can find this in Appendix C, the applicant amended their operating schedule to include measures relating to CCTV, an incident and refusals register, staff, and age verification processes. These are outlined in Appendix C and will be attached as conditions to any licence as may be granted. The responsible authorities are included in consultation and comprise Thames Valley Police, Royal Berkshire Fire and Rescue, Environmental Health, Trading Standards, Public Health, the Planning Authority, the Local Safeguarding Children Board, and the Home Office Immigration Enforcement. Of those consultees identified, a representation was received from Thames Valley Police. The applicant has agreed conditions with Thames Valley Police, which are attached in the aforementioned Appendix C. There has been one representation from an other person in objection to the application around the opening hours for sale of alcohol off the premises. This is attached in Appendix D of the report. Those that have made a representation have informed of the time and date of the Licensing Appeals Committee hearing and have been informed of their right to attend. In terms of legal considerations, Chair, conditions may only be attached to a premises licence where they are deemed appropriate for the promotion of the licensing objectives. They must be proportionate and not duplicate any existing provisions contained in other legislation. The justification behind a refusal or the attachment of conditions must be given to the applicant. The subcommittee is advised that any findings on any issues of fact should be on the balance of probabilities, and any decision should be based on the individual merits of the application. The subcommittee, in arriving at its decision, must have regard to relevant provisions of national guidance and its own statement of licensing policy, and reasons should be given for any departure. There is a right of appeal to the Magistrates' Court within 21 days of the date of application is notified of the decision of the Licensing Committee. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much for that, Alec. So now I would like to pass to Mr. Singh as the applicant to present your application to the committee, please?
Hi there, sure. So, afternoon, my name is Tajmeed. I've applied this license we're proposing to open a NISA Local Day, a chain run by a co-op. I have been in retail trade since childhood, so I know a fair bit about premises license. I have been a DPS myself in the past. This store has so the application is made. There was an objection by our neighbour, which we have amended the hours for now. That is in line with Tesco Express, which is about half a mile away from us. He has objected to the issues where 10 incidents has happened. Sexually, just bear with me. I did make a note on the other screen. Violence and sexual offences. This has happened at on premises, on licensed premises, where people are more vulnerable, and the environment is more, especially for a female. They're quite vulnerable in that kind of environment. We are planning to sell off the premises, so the drinks will be purchased and gone away from there. So I think that the risk of that is nil, to be honest with you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure.
There's now the opportunity for the representative of one of the objectors, Mr. S. Singh. You can now ask any questions that you may have of the applicant. Please note that you have the opportunity to put your representation in a moment. So this section is just for questions for the applicant. So did you have any questions?
Yeah, so regarding once it's purchased off license, so they can drink it just outside in the car park, is that right?
No, that's not right. It's to be drunk off the premises. The car park is still part of the premises. That will be patrolled, that will be monitored. There will be litter bins. No alcohol consumption is allowed on the premises.
Okay.
Majority of our customers will be in cars. I don't know if you drive or not, but you can't be in a car with alcohol that's open contained alcohol. So they themselves will be breaching if they were to drink in the car. Standing outside, we will be patrolling that area.
Okay, you say patrolling, but how do you actually enforce that?
We will have CCTVs. The application, it says one camera per exit. We will have more than that. So to secure whole of the car park, we will have, I think, around 4 cameras there. Any repeat offenders will be banned from the shop. We will be joining a Facebook group with other businesses around there. We've been in this trade for a while. We find that very effective to work alongside our other premises license holders. This is on and off licenses and local restaurants, and we tend to see the Facebook group does help a lot. If you put a picture up or a face up, it does deter a lot of antisocial behavior in that kind of sense, if that's what you're concerned about.
Yeah, that's my concern, because the wine rack was an off license as well, which has closed down. But so we used to have people loitering around there, and
Right.
nothing was done.
No,
So I don't want the same thing to happen here, especially at 11 p.m.
So we are a family-run business. They are a corporate-run business. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
They have area managers in place. We will be our own managers and our own employees, kind of thing. So we are a hands-on operation. Instead, yes, we will be compliant to what is needed and what's not needed, but we will be physically there. One of my family members will be there on site at each time to overlook this kind of issues that do occur.
Right, okay.
Okay, did you have any other questions for the applicant?
Not at this time, no. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And are there any questions from subcommittee members for the applicant? Not at this time. No. Okay. Thank you very much. So now we move to the objector. This is your opportunity to make your representations to the committee. So please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So I think, well, initially a closing time of 1 a.m. was given. I think that was just used to get time down to 11 p.m. and make it seem reasonable. I didn't receive any real response to my concerns about excessive alcohol consumption, any public disorder, any impact on traffic and disturbance in the area. So I thought that was quite poor. It was only used to get it down to 11 p.m. So I'm not sure why I didn't receive any reply to anything else. So for the traffic and disturbance part, I'm sure there's only like 10 parking spots. So there's only limited parking, which will lead to the disruption of all the roadways, especially in those early mornings, where we know that the Just Tolls roundabout gets busy in the morning from the periods of 8 to 9. So I don't know how you're supposed to manage that, considering there's going to be 4 shops opening and there's going to be about 10 parking spots. Also above the shop, you're going to have people living there potentially. So having it open till 11 usually means people have to clear up stuff, do your stock check, etc. So they'll go well past 11. And I don't understand how the people are supposed to sleep. There's not really a care for their well-being. I'm not sure if these shops are held independently, but if we're looking at local times within the area, within the precinct, for example, in McCall's in the precinct, that's only open till 8:30. Well, I know this is a different application, but of the 4 shops, it states that you're keeping it within the local opening times. So to me, 8:30 would make more sense. But using the other local NISA, which would be in Twyford, that's open till 10. I would propose to match those times. So I think Monday to Saturday it's open from 8:30 to 10 p.m. and Sundays it would be 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. But yeah, essentially to summarize, I'm not against the license itself, but it's just the opening times, as mentioned by Alec, and the potential negative impacts on the local neighbourhood.
Okay, so sorry, if I could just jump in there. Is that the end of your representations?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Okay. All right. So now the applicant has the opportunity to question the objector. Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Singh. Look, I agree with your concerns. You're a local resident. You're there more often than I am. Now, one thing at a time. Regarding the traffic, we are not advertising in out of the area customers that this is not going to be a destination shop. We are making money. Look, we are business. We will be making money from the cars that are already driving past this.
Sorry, Mr. Singh. So sorry to just interrupt you there. So this part is for you to ask questions of the objector. At the end of the meeting, you will definitely have a chance to sum up your views, and you can include some. This part of it is for you to ask questions, if that's okay. So did you have any questions back to the objector?
Questions. I've only got answers for Mr. Singh.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We will come back to you later. Sure. Are there questions from Councillor Melvin or Councillor Glover or the objector?
No, not from me. Thank you.
No? Okay. I just had a couple of questions. So in the original submission, one of the crucial concerns was the extension of the sale of alcohol beyond pub hours. So that's no longer the case. And we also have heard that Tesco also has these hours. So can you explain further why you remain concerned now that those alcohol hours have been put to 11?
Sure. So if you look at Tesco, where the location is, it's not. It's more of in like a centre of shops. So you obviously have the Pizza Hut next door, an Indian restaurant next door. Whereas here, you're completely surrounded by houses and residents. So I think you shouldn't really it should be looked at independently rather than saying, oh, there's a Tesco here at that time. But the
Yeah.
whole location and the things surrounding it are completely different. Because I could just
Okay.
pull a random shop in Woodley and
Yeah.
use them hours, I feel.
Okay. And how close are the houses to this property?
Well, next door.
Okay.
No, yeah,
Um,
there's houses next door.
Okay. And just you mentioned about the parking spaces. Now that this discussion is about the hours that the alcohol license
yeah.
Is allowed for. So in terms of parking spaces, this premises may be open anyway. So would you agree that actually, whether or not the alcohol license is agreed, that the parking issue would remain? Is that?
Yeah, I think it would still remain, but obviously if you limit, I think you got was it 6 a.m. to 11? I think that was the new times presented by the applicant. We know that 8 a.m. or I know that by 8 a.m. at Just Tiles, it's completely blocked up. And if you have people trying to get into a shop to buy stuff, then people trying to leave at the same time, it just creates even more chaos. But it's quite a central part of Woodley, so you have Rivermead School, Beechwood, people trying to get to Wangels using that road. It just creates even more chaos.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that.
Thank
you. Okay, so we can now move to, are there any other questions from the subcommittee members, sorry? At this time, no. Okay, thank you. So now.
Sorry, if I may, I had a question for Mr. Singh.
Okay, go ahead, yeah.
You are aware that you have the same kind of distance to an industrial estate than you have to our proposed store as well. So you are aware you're living on a roundabout with a busy industrial estate with a builder's warehouse, numerous building merchant, let's say kitchen providers or tiles or goods providers, and then you have a coach depot. You have a lorry parking facility there as well. So you are aware that you're living just across the road. As far as we are from your house or from your address, it's in fact quite close to you that you have a quite a large industrial estate as well.
Yeah, the thing is, those are. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, with not just vans, but lorries and as well as coaches as well. And you might say with vans and coaches, with vans and lorries, there might be timings in place, but I don't see that option with coaches because they do the school runs, so they have to leave quite early. They have airport drops, airport pickups, and they're the same firm that provide coaches to Vinnish Triangle. To and from the station to the office blocks. So just want to make you aware that you're aware of these, that you live just right across the industrial estate there. I think that's the question I had for him.
Yeah, sure. Well, I don't think the opening times are 6:30 in this case, especially with Stewart's as well. If, like you said, they go to Vinnish Triangle, go to the airport, they would go the opposite way. Wouldn't actually impact where I am. The Howdens, the Screwfix, etc. That's quite away. It's not directly around the corner from me, so it doesn't actually impact the roundabout per se.
If they are coming from Wales, Swindon, that kind of sides, they come off at Junction 11 and drive through Woodley, drive in front of our premises towards the industrial estate. They don't go to.
Sorry to interrupt again. Did you have another question?
No, I think that's all. Sorry.
No. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Sorry to interrupt you. So now is the applicant is your opportunity to respond to any of the comments that you've heard.
So just the recent one here. The lorries that come off, they're based in Swindon. Howdens are one of the depots distribution because we buy kitchens off them. They drive off at Junction 11, come through Woodley town, drive past of a shop. You also had a point where delivery driving for, I think it was 10 a.m. you stated. Now, It's the same dairy, Arla Milks, Dairy Crest used to be, if I'm not sure. I think some of the members would know here. They are the same people in one lorry will be carrying my milk that we will be selling out of the shop, Waitrose's milk, Iceland's milks, and Lidl milk. The only difference is they'll be stopping by in front of our premises, delivering that milk and going off. Your other concern was the parking. At the moment, currently, as we say, it's 18 car park space for van and larger vehicles. This will be resurfaced, or we have, if you remember the warehouse side of it, because you're local, you would know where the yellow concrete bit is. That will create additional 6 to 7 car park spaces as well. So all in all, by rearranging the parking spaces, we're looking at 25 to 30 car park spaces, to give you that peace of mind. At the moment, that car park is being abused anyway, with locals and just the local workforce that works there as well. They park there and go to the high street. So there is that kind of, if you're considering the noise level, that's already being made. You should be appreciated that when it was just tiles, there were just 4 weekly deliveries. I have spoken to the previous owners. There was 4 weekly deliveries, one every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, one from Italy, one from Portugal, one from Spain, and one from Morocco for the porcelain tiles with forklift noise maneuvers. They have the alarm sensors, safety sensors on the forklifts. For a customer or a builder that used to come in a van or a tipper, that was getting loaded onto the vehicles with the forklift as well. We're not longer, and we won't be using forklifts, so that the annoying beeping sound it's out of the window completely. We haven't got 4 lorries in a week from different countries coming to the car park. We have 1 delivery for milk and bread that we will have, which is a dairy fresh delivery, and there'll be another 4 deliveries from a local distribution that's across the week. Timings, we can arrange something with you yourself. I have no issues with. You're my neighbor, so I think, look, we have spoken to I went door to door, but we spoke till about Romans. I didn't realize that you would be affected as well. Otherwise I would have spoken to you. Your other question, sorry, if I may ask again, one was parking, one was deliveries, which I've addressed. What was the other one, if you may, please? Tesco Express, you said. Yes, so Tesco Express is the same kind of, it's a shell unit. If you look at it, across the road is nursery, and they make more noise, the kids, when they play outdoor in the outdoor center. Then you have flats right above it, right? Planning has gone in at the moment. With all due respect, I'm not sure if you've done any building work or not. We will have an option, well, it won't be an option, it will be compulsory to put insulation between the 2 levels, so the downstairs noise can't go upstairs and vice versa. That will be eliminated there. So that addresses the upstairs part. We are our family as well. We're family guys. We, as much as you have good, valuable time, we look, when we do the viewing upstairs anyway, somebody wants to move in, they will be shown, they won't be blindfolded and given that space, right? So they will be shown in the circumstances there are, and they will be choosing if this place is right or wrong. If it's right, and mind you, there's so many. If you go to Woodley Town Centre, downstairs is shops with flats above it. That's a more busier location than we are. So there's habitats everywhere. If you go, I mean, downstairs is a commercial place, and upstairs, and it's nothing unusual or nothing new. In the 21st century, we have the technology to put right level of insulation that we could block those noises and make their lives better or conditions better, for example. I think that's about it. I've addressed everything for Mr. Singh's concerns. I think the license should be granted from 6 to 2,300 hours. Anything else from you, Mr. Singh?
Okay, thank you very much for that. Can I just ask at this point if there's any other questions from the subcommittee members? No. Okay, so you now have a final opportunity before we close this part of the hearing to give any other representations that you wish to. If I can start with the objector, did you have any other comments that you wish to raise?
No, I think everything still stays the same. Obviously, listening to Mr. Singh, it's quite nice to see that he takes my concerns and actually addresses them. Having said that, also I'm not against the license, I'll say again, but it's just the opening times I just worry about because of the negative impacts, as I've mentioned before. So I think 8:30 to 10 p.m. on a Monday to Saturday, and Sundays 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. would be beneficial, I think.
Okay, and Mr. Singh, as the applicant, did you have any other points that you wish to raise of evidence before we close this part?
Yes, Mr. Singh said 8 to 10:30. I'm not sure if he's aware we can open the store at whatever time we like. You know, so bear that in mind. You're just saying serving alcohol. I think it's better to give an extra hour than a less hour, because I'm that kind of person who I'd want to be compliant with not just licensing, with trading standards as well. So I think I've spoke to Alec previously. We will be inviting trading standards over, and I want to tick on the door that this is a trading standard TS approved store, which is safe for everybody that walks in there, not just elderly, even the 4-year-old or 3-year-old that will walk in there on a summer's day for a Cornetto, for example. So everyone's welcome. It's just that I think you're saying 8:30. I'd rather you be compliant, because bear in mind that industrial estate is 24 hours. We have night shift workers who finish their shifts 6 o'clock in the morning, and that's the night time basically. And Tesco is still selling. They haven't had any issues regarding that kind of antisocial behavior or drunken disorder kind of incidents. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So thank you to everyone for their representations and for the questions. Before I ask certain people to leave, Rachel, have I covered everything that I need to cover as chair?
You have, yes. I was just going to raise a couple of points of advice in the open, and obviously you'll go away and discuss it. But yes, just to clarify what Mr. Singh, the applicant, said, and I think it's fair that everyone understands this. The application before this panel is purely for the hours for the retail off-sale and supply of alcohol, and isn't in fact the same as the opening hours. So what you're being asked to determine is the hours that alcohol can be sold. And as Mr. Singh, the applicant, said, whatever the decision of this panel today in terms of alcohol licensing, the shop can in fact open for longer hours. So this panel doesn't have the power to decrease the shop opening hours. It only has the power, to impact on the alcohol sale hours. So it is just a matter of alcohol licensing. The other point, and I think it's fair to raise this publicly, is that Wokingham doesn't have any early morning restriction orders in place. Even if they did, the hours of early morning restrictions normally cover midnight until 6 a.m. So in any event, it would be outside of those restricted hours, but Wokingham hasn't considered it necessary to do that. And I know this hasn't been raised to any great extent today by our objector, but certainly in the written submissions, which of course will be taken into account, there is the suggestion that the cumulative impact is an issue, and there is no cumulative impact policy in place at all in Wokingham, and in particular in relation to Woodley. So I just raise those points publicly now.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Did you have another point to make before we close off, Mr. Singh, as the applicant?
I did. Just wanted to assure Mr. Singh there as well that, like I mentioned about the installation, we are speaking with the EPOS provider. I forgot to mention this. So there will be age verifications. We could block off people with facial recognitions. That is something that NISA Local itself, part of Co-op, are working to launch in all other stores as well. So if there's an abuser, we could not just put on Facebook, like I said, we could also block him from sale. And there's various softwares that we could use nowadays to prevent this. not just underage now, just the abusers and the antisocial behavior, the guys that basically, you know, we don't want to be serving. We could do that with software now.
Okay, thank you. And as the objector, did you have any final comments?
No, it's just, yeah, I was just making these points 'cause I just care about where I live, essentially. I just don't want, obviously, I appreciate the store, everything developing. It's just some of the people it brings, like they could go to the pub, finish at 10 and make their way to the store and walk 10 meters down the road and create a problem. It's just issues like that I just worry about. I just wanted to make my case. And then obviously hearing about all the patrolling and stuff, it does make it, like, it does ease it a bit. But, yeah, but no, thank you for listening.
All right, well, thank you very much for your representations. Can I now ask everyone who isn't the subcommittee and the support staff from Woking Borough Council to please leave the hearing so that we can make our determination. Thank you very much.
Thank you.